Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss about charges. Knowing about charges is very important to understand the chapter electricity. The word charges was coined by Benjamin Franklin who said that there are two kinds of charges. One is positive and the other is negative. He said that when glass rod is rubbed with silk, glass rod gets a positive charge and when ebonite rod is rubbed with wool, ebonite rod gets a negative charge. It was a time when actually the nature of charge was not known to us. Later, we came to know that atom comprises of electrons, protons, and neutrons. In an atom, the nucleus comprises of protons and neutrons, and electrons revolve around the nucleus in specified orbits. The process of charging is achieved by rubbing. So, rubbing or friction is responsible for producing charging. So, in the process of rubbing glass rod with silk, there is a transfer of electrons. And similarly, when ebonite rod is rubbed with wool, again there is a transfer of electrons. Now, which material transfers electrons to which other material has to be determined. What happens is, electrons are negatively charged, whereas protons are positively charged. In the process of rubbing, only electrons are removed. Now, why can't protons be removed on rubbing? Purely because protons are a part of nucleus and protons cannot be removed by rubbing because they are well within the nucleus. A nucleus holds the protons and neutrons very tightly within them, so the forces of attraction are very strong. However, since the electrons are outside or on the surface of an atom, so electrons can be removed very easily by rubbing. Electrons are negatively charged. So what happens is, when a glass rod is rubbed with silk, the negatively charged electrons on the glass surface are transferred to silk. So when these negatively charged electrons are transferred to silk, negatively charged electrons are added on to silk and electrons are removed from the glass. Hence, glass gets an overall positive charge, whereas silk gets an overall negative charge. So charging is not because of addition of protons, but charging is because electrons were removed from glass. So effectively there were lesser number of electrons in glass and more number of electrons in silk. So glass gets a positive charge, whereas silk gets a negative charge. Similarly, when we talk about ebonite rod and wool, ebonite also has negatively charged electrons in them, wool also has negatively charged electrons on them. However, when you rub wool with ebonite, the negatively charged electrons from wool gets transferred to the ebonite rod. So the overall negative charge on the ebonite increases and the overall negative charge on the wool decreases. So ebonite rod gets an effective negative charge and wool gets an effective positive charge. So what we understand is 1. Charges are electrons. So if something gets charged, it is purely because of transfer or removal or addition of electrons. And secondly, whenever some material has surplus of electrons, then it gets an overall negative charge. And when something has deficit of electrons, then it gets an overall positive charge. So what we understand from this small video is that charges are nothing but electrons. Knowing this is very important while we study the chapter electricity. In the next video, I will tell you more about static and current electricity. Thank you everyone.